Hey everybody, we are going to be back in Fusion for this. We are going to learn how to use sweep, revolve, and thread. We are going to create an object that's called a water heater tube. This water heater tube would go on the inside of a coffee pot. That's what warms up the water, pulls it up into the tube, warms it up so that you get a nice hot cup of coffee out on the other side. Okay, so we're going to start off. We have to go into our data panel. Make sure you are in, if I can find mine, IED Designs. We are in Unit 2, so click your Unit 2 folder. We're going to go over on our design area. We're going to click File, Save. We're going to title this Water Heater Tube. Make sure it's being saved in your IED Designs Unit 2 and click Save. A minute here. Okay. I'm going to close my data panel. Okay, before I get started, I want to check a few things. I'm going to make sure that my view cube is set up correctly. And then I'm going to go over to my document settings, and I want to make sure it's in inches. So with some of the new updates that have been coming out, the units now shows inches and ounce mass. That's fine. It's giving multiple. What's important is that it does say inch in there. So basically it's saying in length it'll be inches, and mass it'll be ounce mass. So that's okay. We're all good. That's what we need. Okay, now I'm going to open my Origin tab here so that I can see all of my planes. And now we're going to get started. We're going to do Create Sketch. We're going to start off on our Y plane. Okay. We are going to choose our line tool. I'm going to click in the center origin here. And then I'm going to start dragging upwards. I want this first line to be 2.31 inches. Okay, once I get 2.31 inches, I can hit enter. And I'll have my line. I'm just going to move it over and zoom in a little bit so I can see better. Now we're going to do a couple construction lines to help guide where we're putting an arc and some other things. So first thing I need to do is go over to my sketch palette over here. My line type, I need to click construction line. I'll go back up to my line tool. I'll go down here to my origin point. I'm going to click on my origin. I'm going to drag to the right. I want this to be 1.6. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to go up to my line tool again. I'm going to click right there where I ended the last construction line. I click there and I'm going to drag up. I don't need to go very far. I'm not going to put a specific dimension on this. I just want to make sure it's straight. And I want it to go up past my original line of 2.31 and hit enter. So now I have two construction lines. I have one right here and then one right here. The important thing is that they are both straight. Now I'm going to go over to my sketch palette and I'm going to turn off my construction line. I'm going to click that so I don't have any construction lines on. I'm going to go up to create. I'm going to go to arc. I want the tangent arc. I'm going to go to the top of this first line that I created, the 2.31. Click. And then I'm going to drag across. It's going to create an arc as I'm dragging it across. I'm going to meet up with that construction line, and I should also be even. So you should see this blue line right here as I'm doing it. And then right there when I get that X and I have a straight line with my arc, I'm going to click. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up. I'm going to click my line tool again. I'm going to click at the end of my arc. I'm going to drag straight down. I want this to be 1.81, and then I'm going to click enter. Okay. Now I'm going to go over, I'm going to click on my construction line, and I'm going to delete them just to get them out of my way, and they're not in there because I don't need them anymore. For a couple things we need to do before we can finish the sketch. We need to add a few constraints here. First thing we need to do is make sure that we have this coincident constraint down here. It should have automatically happened, but you want to make sure that that is there. Then we have a coincident constraint here, or a tangent, sorry, I can't think, yeah, a tangent constraint here. We need to put one on this side as well. So we're going to click on the tangent constraint. We are going to click line, and wrong way. I'm going to click this line, the right line, and the arc, and it will put my constraint right there. Now I also want to put parallel constraints between these two. So I'm going to click on my parallel constraint. I'm going to click my long line and my short line. And that's it for that. So now I can click OK and click Finish Sketch. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the next part. We're going to create sketch again. This time we're going to choose the XZ plane. We're going to choose our center diameter circle. Okay, if you don't have it up there, remember click Create and then go down to Circle, find your center diameter circle. Click right there on your origin point again, same place where you started before, and then start dragging out. We want this circle to be 0.37 inches, and click Enter. And then we can click Finish Sketch. And I'm going to click so I can see my home view. It should look like this. Now we're going to use what's called the Sweep tool. So we're going to go over to Create. We're going to go down to Sweep. I'll click on Sweep. I'm going to click on the circle I created. This is going to be, so over here, let's take a look at our box over here first. So the type is single path. Our profile, we are going to click the circle. And then the path, we want to click the U that we created. We want the distance to be 1. Taper and twist are going to stay 0. Orientation is perpendicular, and operation should be new body. Click OK. Okay, now if I click on the front, this is what it should look like from the front view. Okay. I'm going to go back up to Create Sketch. We're going to use the XY plane again. Okay. I'm going to just kind of tilt this a little bit so that I could see the bottom. I'm going to go up to Create. I'm going to go down to Project. Remember, we've used Project before, so I'm going to click Project. And then I'm going to click the outer edge of this circle right here on the short end of the U. I'm going to click that. You'll see our purple project line show up. And then we're just going to click OK and Finish Sketch. Okay, we're going to go on up to Construct now. Click on Construct. We're going to go down to Axis through Cylinder, Cone, Torus. Click on that. We are going to... Oh, no, I think I missed... Oh, yeah, sorry. We're going to click on the short leg right here. You'll notice that when I hover over it, it becomes light gray. So we're going to click on that. Click OK. Okay, Construct. Now we're going back up to Create Sketch. We are going to choose our purple line here for our plane this time. So we're going to choose that purple line. Okay, I'll move this over this way. Now I'm going to do this very carefully because you want to keep that blue line centered. So a lot of times I'll just do bottom, and I'll just kind of want it angled just a little bit. I don't want it angled too much, but I do want to keep it. If it's not straight, it's going to be an issue. So it does get a little bit tricky here. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. So if you click to bottom, and then you just click that corner right there between the bottom and the front, it'll give you this view. And this view is pretty easy to work with. You just want to go ahead and make sure you zoom way in, because you're going to need to see this very closely. We're going to click on our line tool. This part gets a little bit tricky. So once we have our line tool, you can see I have a blue box. At the end of my thing, I'll get a blue box, and I'll get the plus sign there. We're looking at that plus sign. We want that plus sign to be right there where our purple line and this blue line meet. Okay, so we need that right there. I'm going to zoom again, zoom out. I'm going to drag this down this way a little bit. I want this to be 0.25. Okay, and then where is it? Right there we go. And then I'm going to drag off to the left, and this is going to be 0.15. Then I'm going, whoops, I forgot to lock it in place. I got to click to lock it in place. Then I'm going to drag this up here. Again, I'm going to zoom so I can see. I want to connect with the circle at the end of the purple line. Then I'm going to bring this all the way on back to my starting point right here. Once you do that, you should have this light blue shaded shape. So that's good. Before we finish sketch, we need to get rid of this constraint right here. I'm going to delete that, highlight it, and delete it. You should have a perpendicular constraint here. If you do not, I'll show you how to do this. I'm going to right click and delete. So if you do not have that, if you have that perpendicular constraint, leave it. Don't delete it. I deleted mine so I can show those that forgot how to make it to do it. So I'm going to go on up to my constraints. I'm going to click perpendicular. I'm going to click this line, the right line, and the bottom line, and there's my perpendicular constraint. Now I need to add some parallel constraints. So I'm going to click on my parallel constraint up here, click on my top line and my bottom line. And now you should be all set. And it's very hard to see the constraint on the top line because it kind of blends in with the dark gray. But just make sure, look very closely and make sure it's there. Okay, now you can click OK. And now we can finish sketch. I'm going to go to my home view. And this is what it should be looking like at this point. Now we're going to use our revolve feature. So I'm going to go up to create. I'm going to go to revolve. Click on revolve. It automatically selects that shape we just made. You'll notice in profile it says one selected and this is highlighted blue. That has already been selected. We need to select the axis. We are going to select this blue line right here as our axis. You want this to say extent type partial, angles 360, direction one side, and operation join. So again, your profile is going to be the shape we created. Your axis is the blue line. You want it to be extent type partial. The angle's 360 degrees. The direction should be one side, and the operation is join. We're going to click OK. Alrighty. Now, we are going to put some threads on this side, kind of like on a screw. So we're going to go up to Create, and go to Thread. We are going to click the longer end of the tube. We're going to go on over to the box here, Faces. It says we have one selected. We want to click the box for modeled. We want to unclick the box for full length. We want the length of this to be 0.5. Okay, so your length should say 0.5. Offset is going to stay at 0. This is very interesting that it's up here. If that happens to you, you need to bring this, click on the arrow and bring it down to the bottom. So it should not be up at the top. I'm not quite sure why it did that. Okay. And then we have your thread type should be ANSI unified screw threads. Your size should be 0.375 inches. The designation is 3/8-16 UNC. Class is a 3A, and we're going to leave it as a right hand. A right hand. That means the direction of the threads is for right-handed screwing. And then we're going to click OK. We're almost done. We've got one thing left to do. We are going to put a shell in here because this is a tube. Right now it's solid. So we have to put a shell through the center of this. so that it actually can draw the water up and through it. So we're going to go on up to our shell, modify in shell. We are going to click the bottom on both sides. And hopefully this will work for me because it's been giving me a real hard time lately. So you'll see the dimension box. We want this to say 0.07. We're going to wait just a moment. Oh, and it worked this time. Good. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you have it. So tangent change should be clicked. Shell type should be rounded shell. Okay, your inside thickness is 0.07 and the direction is inside. Now we're going to click OK. Give it a moment. And shell has been acting up a little bit. And if you look through here, you'll be able to see now that it did hollow it out all the way through. That is your finished water heater pipe. So you'll just need to go ahead and go on up. Remember, you need to export it. Remember to export it to your OneDrive. Find your OneDrive and export it to your OneDrive where you'll be able to find it. And then go ahead and upload it in Canvas.